If that's your goal to stay together better, here's the third in a series of 3 tips from a divorce mediator. The third is your communication toolkit. It's heartbreaking to see that so many who come to process a divorce and mediate on that have been stuck on communication errors for years. And now, in the process of mediating and the process of all the heartbreak, now they start learning to communicate for the sake of division. So I want to help you communicate for the sake of the union. We're going to talk about 2 specific items to make sure you got in your toolkit. Avoid the pitfall of accusation. It's so easy to see that something was done wrong, something was promised and wasn't followed through on, to get angry and to want to accuse or blame. But therein lies a big pitfall that you don't want to stumble on if your goal is to keep up intimacy. You can reroute your accusation or your blame into an inquiry. So first of all, go vent, feel your feelings, allow your perspective, because this is only your perspective on the situation. Talk to your girlfriends, call your cousin, co-worker, anybody who can listen to you up in arms about a situation. But then when you approach your partner and your goal is to be building intimacy, try to withhold your perspective until the other one has spoken first. So inquire. Could you tell me what's been going on for you that such and such a behavior keeps coming up? Can you explain to me how we had an agreement for this, but it's been going that way? And then listen, right? And the tone has to be a sincere inquiry. You can even end your question with, I want to hear your perspective first. Very sincerely. If you need to share your perspective, you can be second. Hear them first, because you might find out something you didn't understand. And this understanding will help you not only avoid the pitfall of blame and accusation, but step to the side, go around it, and enter further understanding with the person you want to be intimate with. And second, mutually agree to the timing and the place of your communications. Let's say if we're going to build a garden and which supplies we're going to buy, how much we're going to spend, who's going to work on it. Something even as innocuous as that. My mind is full of it. You walk in the door and I ask you, hey, I was thinking about the garden and I thought, what do you think? And I initiate a conversation before I've asked you, are you ready for this conversation? We're hearing all the time people say I don't have bandwidth. Everybody feels maxed in their emotion, but also often just in their mental capacity to consider something and their capacity to dialogue well. So on the front end, even something as casual as the garden planning, but it's still involved and detailed, you could say when someone comes through the door and you're thinking about it and you want to talk about it, hey, I've had some thoughts about that garden we were talking about. Is now a good time? You might hear no, but you might also hear something in the middle. Hey, let me just put these things down and grab a cold drink and return one phone call and I'll be right there to talk about the garden. This way you're allowing the other to be an other. Have another set of priorities, have another group of thoughts, have another sense of feelings about the topic, have another schedule than you, have another mood than you. When we allow the other to be the other and ask, can we? We ask for mutual consent with what I want to be doing right now, what I want to be talking about right now. We respect them as another. And this brings us greater intimacy in our partnerships.